Think airplanes are safe, clean, and well-run? You might want to buckle up, because behind the snacks and safety demos, there's a world of secrets airlines hope you never find out. From clean blankets that aren't clean, to pilots who literally fight mid-flight, and even human organs in the cargo hold next to your luggage. Let's pull back the curtain on the things you're not supposed to know about flying. Airlines want you to believe their cabins sparkle. The truth? They're cleaned in as little as 15 minutes between flights. Blankets? Fresh for the first flight of the day. After that, just folded and reused. Tray tables? Wiped once a day, if that. Passengers have changed baby diapers on them. And those fresh overhead fans? They can have more bacteria than the toilet flush button. So if you want to stay healthy, don't drink the water. Don't touch too much. And, well, good luck. Airlines make money when planes are in the air, not sitting on the ground. That's why some can turn around a flight in just 25 minutes. Cleaning crews? They might get only 15 minutes to do their job. That means stains, crumbs, and smells often stay right where they are. One flight attendant even used passenger blankets to clean up human waste. When Air Canada had vomit-covered seats, the crew just sprinkled coffee grounds and sprayed perfume. It's not spotless. It's just disguised. Ask most travelers about the worst seat, and they'll say the middle at the back. It's cramped, noisy, and right by the bathroom. But a crash survival study by Popular Mechanics found those seats are actually the safest. Front of the plane? About a 49% survival rate. Middle section? Around 56%. Back rows? A much higher 69%. And middle seats in the back hit 72%. Turns out the seat you avoid could be the one that saves your life. We like to think pilots are calm professionals, but sometimes they can't even stand being in the same cockpit. Airlines use a secret do-not-pair system so certain pilots don't have to fly together. It doesn't always work, like in 2022 when two Air France pilots started physically fighting mid-flight. A flight attendant had to sit in the cockpit to keep them apart until landing. Makes you wonder what else is going on behind that locked door. You've seen the videos. Bags getting tossed like sacks of potatoes. It's not laziness, it's speed. With hundreds of bags and tight turnaround times, careful handling just isn't possible. Locks don't help much either. Most zippers can be opened with a ballpoint pen. And while TSA theft is rare, some workers have stolen thousands of dollars in goods. Your bag might make it, but your valuables might not. Flight attendants aren't paid until the plane door closes. That means all the boarding, bag checks, and safety briefings are unpaid work. On long flights, they rest in hidden bunks above the cabin ceiling. The job isn't glamorous either. Some uniforms have caused rashes, breathing problems, and even hair loss. It's a tough job, and the smile you see is often hiding exhaustion. When a bird hits a plane, it's called a bird strike. And honestly, it happens far more often than you think. New York airports reported nearly 500 in just 1 year. Some of these strikes cause serious damage, like dented noses or even engine fires. Back in 1960, a flock of starlings actually brought down a plane, killing 62 people. These days, airlines test all kinds of deterrents, including giant googly eyes near runways to scare birds away. It's cheap, and surprisingly, it's actually pretty effective. Your suitcase, well, it might not be the most valuable thing in the cargo hold. Human organs are often flown on commercial planes. Hearts, livers, even kidneys. They're worth hundreds of thousands of dollars and need to get where they're going fast. But mistakes still happen. A human heart was once left on a Southwest plane by accident. Between 2014 and 2019, 170 organs were actually ruined during transport. That special cargo isn't always in the safest hands. Airplane bathroom locks can actually be opened from the outside in just seconds. It's a safety feature, sure, but it means there's really zero real privacy. And there aren't as many toilets as you might think. A Boeing 737, 800 seats, 138 passengers, and has just 3 bathrooms. The FAA has no minimum bathroom requirement for airlines. So if carriers want to save space, they can. And, well, they do. When cabin pressure drops, oxygen masks deploy to keep you breathing. But they only supply about 10 to 15 minutes of air. That's usually enough time for the pilots to descend to a safe altitude. The bigger problem? Not all masks actually work. A Boeing whistleblower claimed up to a quarter of masks on some planes failed testing, and in one incident, passengers had to search the cabin for masks that actually worked. Some older planes have small cockpit hatches so ground crew can pass papers inside. No danger there, but windows are a different story. They're made of 3 layers of acrylic with a tiny hole to prevent condensation. Still, if struck by debris, they can fail. One passenger was partially sucked out after an engine fragment shattered a window. Another pilot survived being blown halfway out of the cockpit for 20 minutes. Clear air turbulence is the kind you can't see coming. No clouds, no warning. It's caused by sudden changes in wind speed and direction high above the ground. As the planet warms, these wind shifts are becoming more frequent and intense. That means more injuries from passengers and crew being tossed around. Hotter air also makes takeoffs harder, leading to more delays. So if the bumps feel worse than they used to, they are. In the so-called golden age of air travel, meals were gourmet and cabins had piano bars. Airlines competed on comfort because ticket prices were fixed by law. That ended with the Airline Deregulation Act back in 1978. Carriers began slashing fares and cutting everything else, starting with the food. Today's trays of mystery pasta are the result of decades of cost cutting. Cheaper tickets came at the price of comfort and quality. After deregulation, airlines merged into a few big players. With less competition, prices crept back up, but the service never returned. Every inch of space, every staff hour, every amenity is calculated for profit. If cutting a perk saves money, it's gone. That's why seats are smaller, legroom is tighter, and extras cost more. In the airline business, comfort is optional. Profit is not. You can't control how airlines operate, but you can control how you fly. Bring your own blanket and disinfectant wipes. Use a hard-shell suitcase with TSA-approved locks. Pack valuables in your carry-on, never in checked luggage. Bring your own snacks and a sealed water bottle. And most importantly, know these secrets before you board, so nothing catches you off guard. Most travelers think they're prepared for takeoff. But even seasoned flyers forget the critical things you should never do before a flight. And some of these mistakes, they can ruin your trip, trigger delays, or even get you flagged by airport security. In this video, we'll expose the things you must avoid before flying, because what you don't know can cost you. Putting your passport and cash in a small pouch might feel smart, but that tiny bag could cause huge problems. Think about it. You've already got a backpack and a carry-on. Now you're juggling a third mini bag with your most important items? Bad move. Small bags are easy to misplace, hard to track, and even easier to steal. Lose your backpack? There's a good chance it'll get noticed and turned in. Lose a tiny pouch? It disappears without a trace. Thieves love them too, because they can slip one into a pocket, no questions asked. And if that pouch holds your passport and boarding pass, you're not flying anywhere, so don't risk it. Keep your critical documents in a secure pocket, zipped, close to your body and always within reach. One slip, and your entire trip could vanish with that tiny bag. Most travelers skip online check-in thinking, I'll deal with it later. But that small delay could cost you your seat. Here's the harsh truth. Airlines overbook flights all the time. And if you show up without checking in ahead of time, you're the easiest person to bump. Online check-in sends a clear message. This passenger is confirmed, committed, and already on the radar. And it's not just about security. You get better seat choices, earlier boarding, and sometimes even bonus perks. Packing light? Then why waste time at the counter? Skip the desk and head straight to security like a pro. Waiting until the last minute might seem harmless, until you're told your seat's been given away. There's nothing worse than this airport surprise. You lift your bag onto the scale, and that check-in agent gives you the look. Overweight by 2 pounds. Now it's decision time. Pay the hefty fee or start unpacking at the counter. Embarrassing? Absolutely. But here's the crazy part. Most of that extra weight? Totally avoidable. A full-size shampoo, shaving gel, and deodorant. That's nearly 2.5 pounds right there. And guess what? Paying for that overweight charge can cost 3 times more than just buying those same items at the airport or your destination. Weigh your bags at home. Pack smarter, not heavier. Or get ready to become the person repacking underwear next to the check-in desk. Imagine this. You finally board your flight and, discover you're trapped next to the bathroom for 7 hours with no legroom. And yeah, no charger port in sight. It didn't have to be this way. Most people don't realize that seat maps are public. Sites like Seat Guru show you everything. Which seats don't recline, which ones have extra legroom, which ones are next to noisy galleys or smelly restrooms. You don't need a secret code, just a few minutes of research. So before you click confirm seat, make sure you're not booking misery in row 31. Plastic wrap might look secure, but honestly, it's a trap waiting to happen. Sure, it keeps scratches off your suitcase and maybe it feels safer. But what if you left your passport inside? Now you're at the check-in desk, and the only way to get it is to destroy your $20 wrap job with a key or pen. It's wasteful, frustrating, and honestly, bad for the environment. Flight attendants and airport staff hate it too, because it slows down inspections if they need to open your bag. Want real security? Use a TSA-approved lock. Or, better yet, invest in a reusable luggage cover. Your bag stays protected, and you avoid looking like you're battling a giant roll of cling film at the airport. You finally made it through passport control. Now it's security time. And well, the race begins. Most travelers? They rush straight to the first checkpoint they see, the one with the longest line. Why? Because they assume it's the only one open. Or they're just too tired to walk 50 feet farther. But here's the truth. The last security lanes are often wide open, empty, faster, quieter. You could skip 20 minutes of waiting just by walking a little farther down the hall. So next time, don't follow the crowd, follow the quiet, and save yourself the stress. You know the rule, 3.4 ounces or less. All liquids in a clear, resealable bag. So why do so many people still get flagged at security? Because honestly, they forget what they packed. That big bottle of shampoo you threw in last minute? Gone. The pricey perfume you didn't move to your checked bag? Gone. And here's what most travelers don't know. Even if the bottle has less than 3.4 ounces inside, if the container itself is too big, security will toss it anyway. They can't measure what's inside, so if it looks too big, it's not flying. Save your products and your time. Double-check your liquids, use travel-sized bottles, and keep everything visible in a clear bag. Security will thank you, and your wallet will too. You made it through security, finally. So now it's time to relax, browse a little, maybe treat yourself. Right? Not so fast. Because this is exactly where most travelers slip up. Duty-free zones are massive on purpose. Some are so big, you couldn't see it all in 2 hours even if you tried. And guess what? That's by design. Airports want you distracted, wandering through endless perfume aisles, testing chocolates, forgetting what time it is, and that's how passengers miss boarding calls, even when the gate's just down the hall. So don't fall into the trap. Shop quick, set an alarm, and always know your gate, because that $20 souvenir could cost you a $200 rebooking fee. It always starts with a little voice. Let's try something adventurous before the flight. Ignore that voice. Trying exotic dishes right before takeoff is a rookie mistake. Your stomach has no idea how it'll react to new spices or rich ingredients, and a cramped airplane cabin is the worst place to find out. Here's why it gets worse. At cruising altitude, cabin pressure drops, and when that happens, gas in your stomach expands. Translation: indigestion, bloating, and the constant urge to unbutton your jeans. Even simple meals can backfire if they're too salty, greasy, or foreign to your gut. If you want to stay comfortable, eat something safe and familiar. Or stick to foods that fight bloat, like turmeric, potatoes, or pineapple. The plane's already uncomfortable. No need to turn it into a floating stomachache. Turbulence hits everyone differently. For some, it's just a mild shake. For others, it's a full-blown stomach disaster. Nausea, dizziness, that sinking feeling for hours. If you're sensitive to turbulence, timing is everything. The smoothest flights? Usually in winter, early morning, or late at night. Here's why. Turbulence is caused by rising air pockets called thermal air parcels, and when the sun heats the Earth, those air bubbles rise and stir the skies. Less sun means fewer rising air currents, which equals calmer skies. So, book early or late flights to dodge the bumps. It won't eliminate turbulence completely, but it might save your stomach from doing flips at 30,000 feet. You don't have to be a germ freak, but airports are a bacteria buffet, and guess what's one of the dirtiest things you'll touch? Not the toilet, not the armrest, it's those plastic trays at security. Yep, the same ones everyone tosses their shoes, belts, and phones into. Studies found they carry more germs than a public restroom. So do yourself a favor. Pack some antibacterial wipes or sanitizer. Wipe down your tray, your seat, your tray table, and anything else you'll touch before eating. It takes 10 seconds, and might save you from spending your vacation in bed with a fever. Jet lag hits 93% of flyers, and yet most travelers do nothing to stop it. First step? Change your watch to the local time before you land. This helps trick your brain into adjusting early. Next, split your sleep. Nap for half the flight, then stay awake the rest. Stay hydrated like it's your job. And if you really want to fight fatigue, snack on water-rich foods like watermelon, cucumbers, or strawberries. No one wants to land in paradise feeling like a zombie. So prep your body before touchdown.